All right, so get this. We're diving into something pretty interesting today. How a little relationship conflict can actually, believe it or not, help your team perform better.
Really does seem counterintuitive.
Right, like those times when personalities clash
Yeah.
could actually be more valuable than we think.
It's true. We often just think of conflict as like a negative, something to be avoided.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's this research paper from the Academy of Management Learning and Education by Broigt, Patzelt, Shepard, and Guinness.
The Guinness, like the beer.
That's right. It suggests that a little bit of that, interpersonal friction can actually help us get a clearer picture of how well our team's really performing.
Okay, so we're talking about a study from 2012, right?
Yeah.
What exactly did they do?
Yeah. So they had 52 teams of business students, 3 students each.
Okay.
And they had them working on this task, kind of unique. Imagine if you have a puzzle and everybody only has like a couple pieces.
Right.
And to solve it, you got to share your pieces and work together. So that's this idea of the hidden profile.
Right.
The best solution's hidden unless everyone contributes.
So it's like a real team project then, where everybody brings their own, like, knowledge and perspective.
Yeah.
But how did they measure performance with this puzzle?
So they looked at it from 2 angles.
Okay.
First, did they actually solve the puzzle, pick the best solution?
Mhm.
That's objective performance.
Right.
But then they also looked at subjective performance.
Okay.
How did the individuals and the team as a whole think they did?
Oh, interesting.
So did they think they did a good job even if the outcome wasn't perfect?
I see. So they compared what actually happened to what people thought happened.
Exactly.
But where does that conflict come in?
So they measured how much interpersonal friction each team had.
Okay.
Like, think personality clashes, disagreements, when people just rub each other the wrong way.
Yeah, those moments.
That's what they were measuring.
And what'd they find? Did all that conflict throw the teams off track?
That's where it gets interesting. They started with that kind of baseline.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals tend to think they did well if the team was successful overall.
Right. Makes
sense. But then they found something kind of unexpected.
with that.
For individuals, more relationship conflict actually made that connection between objective and subjective performance stronger.
Wait, so more conflict meant that individuals were better at judging how they actually performed,
Yeah.
even if the whole team wasn't successful.
Precisely. It's like those disagreements forced people to step back, look at their own contribution more objectively.
Interesting.
Yeah, you think about it. If everyone's always agreeing and getting along, you might not question your own actions as much.
They're just kind of going with the flow,
Exactly.
but a little friction.
Yeah, it can make you reevaluate.
So a bit of tension can be a good thing for self-awareness.
It seems that way, yeah.
It's like, can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a little distance
You need that different perspective.
to really figure out your own contribution.
And conflict might be what does it.
Wow, conflict. Who knew?
Right. And it wasn't just individuals either.
Oh,
They found the same thing when they looked at how the team as a whole saw their own performance.
okay.
More relationship conflict. The team was better at judging how well they were doing overall.
So it's like that extra awareness
Yeah.
from the conflict
Yeah.
goes to the group level too.
Exactly. It's like that conflict disrupts that tendency to sugarcoat things.
Right.
Avoid those tough conversations.
Like everybody just wants to get along.
Right. Forces a more honest reflection.
So it leads to a more accurate assessment then.
Right. For both individuals and the team.
Fascinating. But why though?
That's a great question.
Is it just like having to defend your viewpoint?
It could be, maybe that conflict forces us to really articulate our reasoning,
Yeah.
to back up our opinions, consider other perspectives we might not have thought of.
So it's not just about being right.
Right. It's about engaging in that debate
Yeah.
that sharpens our thinking.
So maybe conflict isn't always bad.
Right.
Maybe it's a sign that people are really invested.
Yeah, they care enough to challenge each other.
Push for that best outcome.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember this research was about relationship conflict specifically.
Okay.
That tension from personality clashes,
It's not about just like,
not constant bickering
Yeah.
or a hostile environment.
right, there's a difference between like arguing about ideas
Exactly.
and attacking someone personally.
Yeah, it's about respecting different perspectives.
Right.
But still being willing to disagree.
Healthy conflict.
Exactly. The study just reminds us,
Yeah.
even those moments, when handled well,
Yeah.
can really help us understand how we're doing.
Okay, but this research was on student teams, right?
Yes.
Doing like a specific task.
It was a business decision-making task.
Do you think it applies to other teams, other projects?
Hmm. That's a great question. I think more research needs to be done,
Yeah.
but it's certainly plausible. I mean, think about like creative teams,
Yeah.
little conflict might spark new ideas,
Yeah.
more innovative
You
solutions,
get those creative juices flowing.
or a research team.
Okay.
Healthy debate, challenge assumptions,
Yeah, makes sense.
lead to more rigorous analysis.
But is there a point where it's too much?
Yeah,
Even if it's just interpersonal conflict?
that's a really important point.
How do we know where that line is?
It's about finding that sweet spot,
Mm,
that level of conflict that, fosters the critical thinking,
right.
the healthy debate.
But doesn't create a bad environment.
Exactly. And that's where leadership is key.
Okay.
Leaders got to create a culture of like psychological safety,
What's that?
where people feel safe to speak up,
Okay.
even disagree.
And not feel like they're going to be punished for it.
Exactly.
So it's not just about tolerating the conflict.
Right.
It's about actually encouraging it,
Yeah, making it part of the process.
in a healthy way. So we should see conflict as a chance to grow then,
Absolutely.
individually and as a team.
Right. This research reminds us that those uncomfortable moments
Yeah.
can be really valuable.
Help us understand ourselves better.
Enhance team performance.
Lead to more accurate, insightful evaluations.
Exactly, of how we're really doing.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired.
Me too.
It's a whole new way to look at conflict.
Yeah, it's a whole new way to think about things, Like, it starts with creating a culture where it's okay to just be open and respectful even when you disagree.
Yeah, like where two members feel like they can really speak their mind
Right, even if their opinion is different from everybody else's.
and not be afraid to, to share
Exactly. It's about building that trust.
that psychological safety
Right, so people know they can speak up.
and not get in trouble for it.
Exactly. And it's not just what you say.
It's how you say it.
Right, active listening, empathy, trying to really understand different perspectives.
So we're talking about emotional intelligence here,
Yeah, both for individuals and for the whole team.
and you can actually get better at that.
Absolutely. Leaders can be good examples.
Okay.
They can offer training, create chances for people to practice, communicating well in those tough spots.
So instead of being afraid of conflict,
Yeah.
we should see it as a chance to grow,
Right.
learn some new skills.
Build stronger relationships.
It's pretty powerful, this research.
It is.
It tells us that even those moments of, like, friction
Yeah.
can be really helpful.
They can help us become more self-aware,
Huh.
help the team perform better, and in the end, lead to evaluations that are more accurate and insightful.
More honest about how we're really doing.
Exactly.
Well, I'm feeling inspired.
Me too. It's like a reminder that even when we disagree,
Yeah.
there's a chance to grow, to change for the better,
Who knows? Maybe that next heated debate
Yeah.
will be the thing that leads to some amazing breakthrough for the team.
That's a great way to put it.
So to wrap things up, next time you feel that tension in a team meeting,
Yeah.
don't run away from it.
Embrace it.
Communicate openly, respectfully, and see where it takes you.
You never know what you might discover.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us today for this deep dive.
My pleasure.